guys, welcome back. Little change of plans for the next couple of days. I've been trying to sell this Birdie King 2 cabinet and nobody seems to want it. Okay, you guys watch me fix it up. You guys saw how clean the cabinet was and everything. It's a really nice cabinet. So what I'm going to do is take this Mr.Do castle and put it into the Birdie King cabinet and then put it in my basement. So what I want to do is take the Birdie King 2, take everything out of it. If anybody's interested in a Birdie King 2 board or anything like that, let me know. I highly doubt it. But anyways, I'm going to take that stuff out of it. The green areas of the cabinet, we're going to paint white with a roller and cabinet paint from Home Depot. So I'm going to go to Home Depot. I'm going to get a quart of cabinet paint. We're going to sand this real lightly with some 220 grit, probably 180 grit. Sand it down real quick. Paint the green areas white. We are going to print our own artwork. I believe the files we have are good enough to get a good print. So I'm going to make new round stickers for the sides, for each side. We're going to do a cooler looking control panel overlay than what's on this one. And then we're going to make a marquee. Because I can't use this marquee because A, there's a hole in it, and B, it's not tall enough. So we need to create a taller one for that cabinet. And I ordered some yellow T-molding to go on that cabinet. I think it'll just look kind of cool because Crystal Castle has a lot of yellow in it. So we're just going to put yellow T-molding on it. I think it's going to look pretty damn good. And I kind of wanted this in the basement because I have a Mr.Do original universal cabinet, but unfortunately this is not a universal cabinet, but it's kind of close. I mean, it closely looks like it, and this cabinet is in such good shape. I don't know what else to do with it. You know what I mean? Nobody wants it, so why not use it and turn it into what I want? I mean, look at how clean it is. The back door's not busted up, nothing. So that's what I'm going to do with this thing. Screw it. Mine's well. This is a Frogger cabinet, which I thought was in worse shape than it is. But, you know, for a Frogger cabinet, it's really not in that bad a shape. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. This actually wasn't a Frogger. I forget what it was. Let's open it up and see. There is a tag in there, I believe. Oh, you know what? Does it say it on the back? I forget what it was. Yes, it does. Oh, no, it doesn't. Just says Gremlin Industries. Or Gremlin. I think it's Gremlin. I don't know. I'm not good at pronouncing stuff. Let me grab a screwdriver and open the back up. And then I want to power this on to make sure it still works. This has been sitting since summer. And I just pulled it out of the back building. It's like 10 degrees outside right now. All right, let's open it back and see what it was. I can't remember what it was. Wheels or something on the bottom of this thing. So we're just going to do this real quick. On the cheap, I'm basically going to buy a $30 can of paint. We are going to take this monitor out, clean it, put it right in there. We are going to take the game board out, wiring harness, all that good stuff. It's going to go right in that cabinet. So basically we're going to be buying paint for $30. I ordered T-molding, which was $20 shipped. And don't know about the screen bezel yet. Might have to change that, but that I might have a piece of glass that fits this cabinet because this is a piece of plexiglass and it's bronze colored. And I don't really care for it, and it's scratched. I could buff it out and make it look good, but I think I might have a piece of glass that might fit in here, and I'd rather switch it out for a piece of tinted glass. Used one, obviously. I don't have a new piece, but I'm hoping to literally do this for under $75. That's my goal. So let's see if we can do it. Because the artwork we're going to print are two 14-inch circles, no big deal, control panel overlay, and a marquee. We have all the materials because we print stuff for the store that we have down in Geneva on the Lake. So it's a couple dollars of ink and vinyl for us. So it's not a big deal. So like I said, I think I'm going to be able to do this for about 75 bucks. So what was this? Space Firebird. So it was a Space Firebird. Now, I don't know if Gremlin made a Space Firebird. I know that Space Firebird Nintendo made. So I don't know, was there one for Gremlin as well? I am not sure. If somebody knows, let me know. I think when I bought this game, somebody had mentioned something about it. But to be honest with you, I don't remember. I thought there was 2 different ones out there, but I could be very wrong. This could definitely have been a Nintendo one. But who knows? I mean, I don't know that Space Firebird is even a good game, but it would be kind of cool to turn it back into that possibly, but who knows? So, looking at this here, they're using the original Gremlin power supply in this cabinet. So you know what we're going to do? The right thing, clean it and use it. If it breaks, we'll fix it. We're going on the cheap here, guys. Do I have a switching power supply I can use? Yes. But why? If it's working. We even have the original manual down there for the service manual. So let's see what my phone's doing over here. My shop is a freaking disaster right now. I've got the dually completely torn apart. Got the whole front of the motor torn off. Cleaning it. I'm going to be painting it up just because I have OCD really bad. And I couldn't justify finishing painting this truck and having the motor look like shit. So I'm not getting paid to do this, guys. I'm literally spending one day, an 8-hour day, cleaning and painting this front end with all the parts and stuff. As you can see, I've been cleaning and painting parts as I go, just rattle canning them, just because I just can't look at that. Looks like crap to me, you know what I mean? And for less than $100 worth of materials, it's going to look awesome. Also, the 59 Impala convertible's leaving, so if anybody wants to see the final video on that, it's on my other channel, but this is all done. I guess you don't need to see the final video if I show it to you real quick, but this is done. It's leaving tomorrow. I have to do a little bit with the shifter linkage. I'm waiting for a buddy to show up. That's it, and this car is done. Ready to go back to Cleveland, and then it's getting on a truck and heading to California. So this will be out of here, and the dually's next for me to paint. So the reason why I'm doing this quick arcade game is because I was hoping to sell. I sold the Burger Time that left. I was hoping to get Birdie King out of here because I didn't want to shove it in the back building. I'm sick of moving stuff around. So since nobody wanted to buy it, I had it down to 200 bucks. I started at 300. Nobody wanted it, so I said, screw it. I'm going to use it and turn this Mr.Do castle into that. Quick, easy, and it's going to look cool. And we'll just stick this back in the back building for now. I'll do something with it later. But you know what? That'll get it out of here. This will be back in the back building. The only thing I'll be sitting here is Journey. The Journey cassette deck board got shipped today. I'm supposed to have it tomorrow, so I can put that in the game. And my wire connectors are supposed to be here tomorrow. Finally, 2 weeks later. They were ordered on the 26th, and they're just now showing up tomorrow. So then I can finish the Kickman wiring harness, and I can make the wiring harness for Journey, because they both are using the same connectors, and I did not have enough of the 15-pin connectors. So let's plug this in and see if this thing fires up. Now, I know when I bought this thing, it took a long time to warm up. I was hoping to do this all in one video, just a quick swap over to there, but it's not. It's going to be probably a 2-part video, maybe 3. But because I need to pull everything out of here, which will be quick. Got to clean the monitor and stuff, no big deal. But I want to paint that cabinet. I got to let the paint dry. So on this video tonight, if I can pull everything out of here, put this cabinet back in the back building, and paint that cabinet tonight, I will be happy with that progress, because then tomorrow I can put all this stuff into there. I'll probably just wash the monitor. I'm gonna have to do it outside in the 10-degree weather quickly, and then bring it right back in so it could dry off. But yeah, if I can get this out of here tonight, get the monitor clean, and paint that cabinet, tomorrow we can put everything into that cabinet and should have it up and running, and then we just got to put the artwork on it, which should be printed tonight. We're cleaning the print heads right now on the printer because we haven't used it in a while, and they're probably clogged up, and it's probably going to cause an issue, and God only knows, because that's how that shit works. Okay, so on this original panel here, we have a trackball, okay, but it's a 2-inch trackball, so it's small. So what my plans are is It's got about a 2-inch hole, maybe a little bigger. But you see how this is tweaked like this? If I put a joystick in here, this is about the right depth for the joystick, but the joystick needs to be this way, okay? So what I'm hoping to do is to make an adapter plate, possibly, so that the joystick spins this way, and just put a big dust washer in there and not have to deal with it. I could close this hole up and close these holes up, but do I want to get that far involved into it? Not really. We can keep these here for player 1 and player 2 start. No big deal. And then we just got to put a button here and here. So we just got to drill 2 holes here, hopefully make an adapter plate for that, leave those alone, and we should be good to go with that. I got to pull the T-molding off here, the artwork on the one side. So let's plug this in, see if we get any sort of on the screen. Like I said, I think I just mentioned this. It took a while to warm up when I bought it for it to turn on. Is that going to be the case? Probably. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's monitor issue or what. Maybe the power supply's screwed up. So let's plug it. All right, so it's making a noise. Got a hum. Okay, we got flickering. Okay, is that a monitor or what's going on with that? Curious to see if it'll start. Okay, so it's not starting. So it could be the power supply, and if that's the case, we'll put a switcher in it. I should have a few in the basement. That's not a big deal. Need to see what's going on back there. I think the guy said when I bought it, it takes a while to warm up, which doesn't really make sense to me. And like I said, unless it is that power supply. The hum stopped. Okay, I got a phone call, and literally a couple minutes later I heard a beep and then the game turned on. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's something to do with the power supply. It very well could be. Those capacitors could be shot. But I don't know. Obviously we have some screen issues going on here with some degaussing. Sometimes when you move the cabinet around it changes, but let's see if it actually plays. Oh, you know what? It might take credits. I wonder if there is a free play for this. Where's the credit button at? I turned the lights off so I can see the screen better. Now I can't find the credit button. Seriously? Here it is. I think I found it. Hold on. I'm looking. Where are you at, lever? And now I gotta turn the lights on because I can't see. There it is. Not playing. Good thing is we can use this joystick that's in here. Feels like a leaf switch one. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying. Okay, we're not getting any, it's not wanting to start the game. Oh, I think I know why. Maybe. Okay. So let's see if it plays okay. I think this monitor is going to be okay. It's a little out of adjustment. Definitely needs some tweaking and tuning. Let me turn the light off. I mean, if we got to rebuild it, we got to rebuild it. I honestly don't even know what monitor it is yet. I haven't looked. Just kind of testing it out, checking the joystick seems to work good. Everything seems to work, so that's good. Make sure. Okay, that button works. That button works. Oh boy. Joystick's sticking a little bit. Let's see what kind of monitor is in here. We have 4,900. I got rebuild kits for it, so no big deal. We can rebuild it. Might need it. I might just rebuild it because these capacitors look to be original. They're gray in color, some of them and stuff, and there's some of them with green on the top. So I'm gonna say that those might be original. Usually I don't mess with it, but this seems a little funky. I guess I can try the adjustments a little bit to see if it gets any better. But since it took so long to power on, I'm gonna venture to say that that power supply is probably screwed up. And maybe we should just work on just putting a switcher in here and being done with it. Extra wires here. Let me mess with this monitor for a couple minutes and see if I can't get it to look a little better. Okay, I just spent a few minutes on it and it's already looking a million times better. I did wipe the screen off too. And I unscrewed the width coil as far as I could. So it's about as wide as it's going to get. This monitor has a ton of screen burn on it, but it's Mr.Do Castle burn. So it actually looks pretty damn good. The white looks good. I don't think we're gonna have to rebuild it. We're just gonna clean it and use it. If there comes a problem in the future, we'll change it out. And I am kind of betting that that original power supply is the problem. What I think is going on is those capacitors drained down because they're probably bad. But I came up with an idea. I believe that's the same power supply that is used in Carnival. Okay, and I have a Carnival to restore. So I'm going to take that, we'll recap it and use this for Carnival, and I'll just put a switching power supply on this game. And that should solve the problem. Because if I were to guess, those are definitely original capacitors, and I'm going to say that's more than likely what the issue is, because now when I turn it on and off, so if I turn it off, it'll power right back on. And there it is. So that's going to be my guess as to what's going on. They're draining down, they're not holding anything. Could be wrong. Obviously it doesn't look as good right now because the lights are on, but that's plexiglass. So the next step would be is I need to pull everything out of this and then get this cabinet in the back. My buddy's on his way down. We're going to work on this car for a little bit and then I'll come back and we'll work on this. I almost wonder, I'm going to grab a tape measure real quick. I want to know what width of this is. Okay, they're both 24 inches wide on the inside. I wonder if that piece of wood that the monitor is mounted on would slide into here. Or I forget how this monitor was inside this cabinet. Yep, there's a piece of wood. I would not be surprised if that piece of wood wouldn't slide out of that cabinet and slide right where I put this piece of plywood. Wouldn't that be awesome? 24 1/8. Let me measure this one real quick. 24 1/16. But the actual wood itself is 23 7/8. So it's good that way. It's 21 inches tall. It might slide right in here, guys. How awesome would that be? And guess what? I don't need a switching power supply in the basement. I got one right there. And I have the isolation transformer for the monitor. We'll have to take my converter board out that I put in, but this should be a pretty simple thing to do. So I'm gonna take a break, work on this car for a little bit, and then come back and we're gonna tear this cabinet down. What we need out of it, just a few things. I'm just gonna leave the power supply in there for now, and we'll just pull the wiring, the board, let's check out the control panel. It's got these buttons. Let's check that real quick. I like doing these quick little easy projects. So what I'm probably going to do is put this game next to the Mr.Do. So I'll have Mr.Do and Mr.Do Castle next to each other. And the tapper that's there, I'll probably just put it with my other MCR games. We got our soundboard right here we have to take out. That is for Mr.Do, I believe. Let me see. Yes. Now, I don't know if that is a Mr.Do soundboard or if that was part of the other game that was in here. I'm not sure. Yeah, we have a leaf switch joystick. We'll just file up the leaves, reuse them. Buttons, we can reuse all the bottom side. We'll just have to get new buttons, which I think I have. So, all right, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, he's not gonna be here for about 10 minutes, so why waste time? I might as well pull some of this stuff out of here. I think this board's just sitting in here. Is that a JAMA harness? It's a JAMA harness. I didn't know that this was a JAMA board. Looks pretty clean. That, we got our manual right here. So we're gonna just take this harness right out of this cabinet. Just gonna unplug that. Unplug our isolation transformer for our monitor. And then we have this white wire, which is just ground. They have that going to ground. I'm just gonna cut that off and put a new end on it. Grab our video cable wires off. So the only thing I really have left is the front side there. I'm gonna pull this monitor. You know what? This monitor mounts just like the hell game was I just working on? I forget. Maybe it was the one I took out of there. This monitor has been messed with. It has this vertical placement or whatever. It's been replaced with that dial. Oh boy. We're going to solder these. I do not care for these kind of connections. Somebody had a problem with one of them. Look, somebody fiberglassed the holes in on the sides here. I'm just going to leave all these buttons in here. I'm just going to take the joystick. I have all these button parts that I need in the house. Somebody did a pretty decent job converting this. Okay, I just got to pull the joystick out of this. I need a pair of pliers or something quick here. If this lip wasn't bent, I'll bet you this would fit in that cabinet, this control panel. We'll have to clean up this joystick and the spring shot. Should have one in the basement. That dust washer is almost the right size. So this joystick hole was not here originally. I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna take the wood off of the monitor. I think I can fit this monitor in my utility sink because it's just way too cold outside. It's probably 5 degrees now. It's really windy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull these bolts out, and then we can see if we can get it in there, and we'll spray it all down with some simple green and get this thing washed off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and unbolt this off camera. It's just 6 bolts. All right, I have the monitor soaking in some simple green. I am looking to see, does Mr.Do Castle have a free play option, or is it quarter only? Dip switch settings. Game style, difficulty, automatic, renewal of screen, difficulty of game. Coin and credit. Free play. So we have to turn all the dip switches, looks like, to the on position to have it on free play. So there is a free play setting. I wonder if it saves high scores. I am not sure about that. I would doubt it, but you never know. So I'm gonna get that monitor rinsed off here in a few minutes, and then we're going to take apart part of this cabinet over here, or maybe just take it all apart real quick, and then we can sand the sides and get the white paint put on it. I did pick up some white paint from Home Depot. Show it to you here real quick. My shop is a disaster. Tomorrow I gotta start putting everything back together, cleaning up. So I bought a quart of this. It is satin cabinet door and trim enamel. It is not latex, so you can stick artwork to it. And I bought one of the rollers, and it says for all smooth surfaces. This was $25 for a quart, so it's not too bad. It is not latex. Once again, it's enamel. I'm going to cut this card off of here so that I can put it on the screen or behind the screen. This thing's shot anyways, so I'm going to grab some scissors and cut this out. That cleaned up really good because it was behind glass its whole life, so it's pretty much brand new. I'll probably end up putting it on the back side of the glass and then spray painting around it black, but I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with that. Let me get this cabinet slid over so that we can take it apart. Okay, I got to start with the control panel. get this off. So much for the flat screen install. Curious to see if this monitor frame is going to fit in here. All right. Pop the monitor out. Doesn't want to come out because of the VGA cable. Can't get it out. Get a little Phillips screwdriver. Actually, I could probably use it off my drill. Now, we'll go grab one. Monitor is still good. Put it back in the basement. Let's see if this wooden frame fits. Look at that. It is literally an exact fit. I mean, it's crazy. And we just got to put our couple screws right here back the way it was, and that monitor will slide right in here just like it was meant to be. We'll have to get a plastic bezel to go around it or something, but we'll figure that out. I'm sure I have something that we can use. So that's a huge thing I don't have to worry about making. Let's take off the marquee. And get that screw afterwards. That's got to come off. It's just T-molding. We're going to have to hot glue the new piece in because it was definitely loose. Okay, I'm just going to take off the speaker grill and then we'll be able to paint that green area. There's a nut I forgot. Grab a socket. I think it's 11:30 seconds. Yep, that would be it. One nut is a little bigger in size. Okay, pull this T-molding off. This seems pretty tight, so that's a good thing. Good news is there's already a new power cord on this when I put that switching power supply in here. Funny how that monitor frame and everything fits in here. It's like it was meant to be. Of course, that's a 1/4 inch. These are speaker wires, which we will cut these right here. Oh yeah, I can take that plug out. It's a monitor plug. Okay. Need to get a nut driver to get the computer out. All right, that's out. Anybody interested in a Birdie King PCB that works, a wiring harness, and a marquee? $50 plus shipping. Anybody wants it? All right. We just need to take the artwork off the side and we're ready to put some white paint on this bad boy. Tomorrow this thing will be in the basement, ready for reassembly. This has some bubbles in it, so maybe I'll get lucky and it'll just peel off. Bye, Birdie King. Guys are smiling, not for long. We'll be in the garbage. Man, if I only had some nails. I'm gonna have to get a razor blade. So I have one laying out on the bench. And a disastrous bench. I could clean this bench 10 times a week and it still looks the same. Later, Ted and Mary, whatever their names are. Next week, I still plan on starting on the Tato cabinets. And I might be doing a third Tato cabinet, building one from scratch. If anybody wants to watch that, I'm going to use those Tato cabinets as my templates, and we're going to make a Tato cabinet out of 3/4 inch black melamine. For a guy that I bought a bunch of stuff from out in Michigan. He wants me to, he originally wanted, I had bought a Tato cabinet off of him when I picked up the Kickman cabinet. And I bought some other stuff from him as well. Well, he messaged me today and he's like, hey, are you doing anything with that Tato cabinet? I was like, yeah, I'm actually making a, I called it a Quicks. I believe it's called Kicks. I don't know. I just tried to pronounce it, I guess, by how I saw it spelled. But it's called Kicks, I believe. So I want to turn it into a Kicks. And so I didn't have a Tato cabinet for him. But I said, you know what, if you want, I'll build you one. Because he has a alpine ski control panel that I need. Because I don't have an alpine ski control panel. So I told him, I was like, give me the control panel, just a little bit of money. I'm not charging him a lot to do it. Basically just covering the cost of materials. I'm just doing it to do it. So there'll be some videos on me building a Tato cabinet from scratch while restoring 2 other ones. So it's going to be like the Tato extravaganza. We're probably going to be starting on Tato cabinets next week. Don't know if I'll get to building one next week. Maybe it'll be the week after for that, depending on weather. I really like to cut that stuff outside because I cut it with a router. And I believe I already have a template for the Tato cabinets for the router. But I no longer have the measurements for all the middles and everything else. So we can use the cabinet that I tore apart to get accurate measurements on everything, and I will give you guys all the measurements you need on the videos in case somebody wants to build a Tato cabinet, they can. The reason why I'm using black melamine is I don't want to have to paint it. It's like 50 bucks a sheet for that stuff. 2 sheets will build the whole cabinet. So $100 with no painting required. And I think he's just going to do his own artwork at a later time. He told me the name of the game that's going in there, but to be honest with you, I don't remember what it is. Okay, we got this cleaned up. We need to sand it down with 180. Looks to be good. We already fixed the couple nicks that were in the cabinet. So now we're just going to buzz this down with some 180, roll 2 coats of this white cabinet paint on it, and call it a day. We got a little spot down there, a couple little spots down there. I'm going to mix up a little bit of filler. We're going to hit those bottom spots on this side. Same over here. A little bit of flaking at the bottom. Just knock it out real quick before we paint it. All right. Get my sander out. I'm not going to use my vacuum. The shop looks like a bomb. Does it really matter at this point? Okay, I'm going to stay away from the bottom right now until that sets up, but we're using 180 grit. This is laminate that we're sanding, so it's really not going to be dusty. The reason why I'm using 180 grit is I'm trying to scuff it enough for the new paint to bite to it. If you don't give it a good roughing up, the paint's not going to want to stick. Dedicate this Mr.Do Castle build to Charlie from Overtime Arcade, because I know how much he loves Mr.Do Castle. So I just want him to know that I'm building one of his favorite games. He'll understand when he hears it. I think he likes it as much as Time Pilot, if not more. I'm sorry, not Time Pilot, Zaxxon. I'm pretty sure he likes it as much, if not more, as Zaxxon. Watching this and hasn't checked out his channel, check it out. Overtime Arcade. Check out his channel, subscribe to him. I'm sure he would really appreciate it. This is why you always wipe down your cabinet before you paint. Even though I blew it off really good, still have residue. So I'm gonna let that dry for a couple minutes and we are ready to paint the sides, inside the top there, and the very top. I gotta find a paintbrush. I have some cheap ones back here just to cut in those edges on the top and on that above the monitor there. Okay, I literally picked this up from Home Depot an hour ago, I would say, roughly. So I had them shake it real good on their shaker. So we should be good to go. I've used this paint before on houses, trim on houses, and it works really well. So for all the people that want to see me paint a cabinet without using a spray gun and air compressor, here you go, guys. I got a satin finish rather than a gloss or a flat, because I just think that satin is a nice finish. Once I get to the sides, actually after I get done with this front, I'm going to keep videoing, but I'm going to fast forward it. Now it's important to not push hard with your roller, and don't leave roller lines in your paint. Make sure you smooth it out so you don't have a bunch of roller lines in there, or it's gonna look like shit. This stuff will level out. I just got it on the black. I have to fire myself. This will level out to actually turn out to look pretty damn good. 2 coats looks like it's all it's gonna need. I'm gonna end up touching up the black, which isn't a big deal, because it's a little here and there, a little goofy. Okay, first coat's on. It's got to take a good hour to dry. It says an hour to touch, 2 hours to recoat, but it's about 70 degrees in here, so I'm thinking it's going to dry faster than that. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry. I'll be back in a little bit. All right, guys, it's dry. It's been about an hour and a half, so I'm going to put the second coat on now, and then after that, I'm going to touch up the black spots, or the black areas. Okay, the 2 coats of white are on. It looks really good. It's drying. I used less than a half a quart. So there's plenty to do another cabinet. So for $25, you can do 2 cabinets with a quart of paint, which breaks down to $12.50 per cabinet, plus tax. So about $14 a cabinet, rounding up. Now we're gonna do the black, and then I'm gonna let this dry overnight so that we can bring it in the basement tomorrow and start putting Mr.Do into it. The monitor chassis cleaned up extremely nicely. Looks brand new. Too bad the tube has a bunch of burn, but we're gonna probably use some window tint or something to try to hide it. I got a couple ideas. So now I'm just gonna go and do 1 coat of black. Once again, this is from Lowe's because this is from a while ago. And it is dark kettle black, it's called. Right off the shelf. It goes on blue looking, but it dries pretty black. And I'm just using a paintbrush. I'm not breaking out a roller for this because this is particle board on the inside. So it has a texture to it. So you're not really gonna see the brush strokes. The particle board texture is gonna kind of show through. So no point in wasting a roller sleeve for that. Would it be a little bit quicker? Yeah, but not by much. We're not going to do the back, just the top edge. The rest of the back, we're going to leave it alone. It's fine. We're not putting the black on real heavy. Just enough to cover up any little stupid imperfections. Kind of run your brush with even strokes after you get it applied. I haven't done this in a while. Now, a lot of people would tape it off, wait until the next day and tape off the white so they don't get black on it. I used to paint a lot of houses when I would remodel them, so I'm not too worried about it. I can usually run a pretty straight line. So tomorrow we're going to get the control panel stripped down. See if we can make the joystick fit in the control panel. And then probably start, like I said, get the game in here and working. See if that old power supply that was in there was the culprit for it to not turn on quickly. There are capacitors on the board too, so but I'm still betting on it being the power supply. We're not going to brush the coin door. I had touched that up with a little spray paint a couple weeks ago. So we'll leave that alone. This is pretty much the same paint that I bought at Home Depot, just Lowe's version of it. You can see how gray it looks next to the black until it starts to dry. Not fast forwarding this part just to show you how quick you can do this stuff. Looks so gray right now, it's funny. Probably not as much on the camera. I want to touch up this top edge where I got the white. I don't want to go over the serial number or anything, I'm just going to leave that. Just want to get this top edge. Just covering up that little bare wood at the very bottom. All right, let me get this rinsed out and I'll be back. All right, let's take a look at it. See how it's drying. Got a nice crisp lines from where I painted it. This will obviously get blacker. You can see how it's starting to turn black where it's a little thinner and drying. Those brush strokes will go away. All right, so that's going to end this video. Tomorrow this will be in the basement. We're going to get the control panel stripped, figure out how we're going to mount the joystick in there, and drill the couple holes we need for the buttons. And then that will be ready for the control panel overlay. Control panel overlay is printed, and the side art, which is just 14-inch circles. We have to laminate it still. Our laminator's tucked away in the corner, so we got to pull that out so we can put texture laminate on the control panel overlay. And then tomorrow we just need to print the marquee, and we're just going to print it on Translite and stick it behind a piece of plexiglass, glass, whatever's cheaper. I'll have to see if I have a piece of plexiglass we can use. If not, I might just go get a piece of plate glass, because I kind of like the look of glass better than plexiglass. Plus you could wipe it and it doesn't tend to scratch up. But I'm gonna go look real quick to see if I have a piece of glass for this cabinet. I had about a dozen pieces of glass back there. Everything is like 23 inches wide. This needs to be 24 by like 19 and a half. I had one piece that was 23 3/4 by 23 3/4, which would have worked this way, but it was too long that way. I have to look in the basement to see if I have anything. If not, I guess I'm gonna have to buy a piece of 3/16 plexiglass. Don't really want to, but I guess if I have no choice, I have no choice. Well, here's a piece of, is this, no, it's metal. Okay, this is for the Journey, but here's how clean the monitor came out. Look at that chassis. Looks freaking brand new. So it's got a really nice chassis on a really burned up tube. But you know what? It is what it is. Actually, is that crystal, or is that Mr.Do Castle burn at the top? Or is that Carnival? Let me look. No, Carnival does not, that's not Carnival. It's got to be Mr.Do Castle. Let me shut the compressor off real quick. All right, I'll look in the basement when I go in the house. It's about midnight now, but I'm gonna let this set overnight. Got a doctor's appointment in the morning. Get home, I can move this into the basement, figure out if I'm gonna have to buy a piece of plexiglass or not. If I do, I'll buy like a 24 by 36 piece, and I'll cut this piece out of it, and then I'll cut the marquee glass out of it. So I guess it is what it is. But I think that's about it. We're getting there. Curious to see how this is gonna look once it dries. Looking like it's drying a lot nicer in here already. So, all right guys, well thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this. Another cheap build. I already cleaned it up once, but no big deal, because at least the first time it's cleaned up, now it's just easy to convert. Let me know what you guys think of this conversion. But other than that, I'm going to end this, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So thanks for watching. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything. Just lets you know when new videos come out. They come out at weird times all the time, so you never know. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys later.